So you arrive at a new town. What's the first thing you do? You head out and you, well, take a look at the town, see where it is you're landed. And in this episode, we are going to be looking closer at Nürnberg. And while we're here, we will also take a little bit of a trip down to München, but that would be an entirely separate episode, so make sure you watch out for that. But first of all, let's explore Nürnberg. So one of the first things you have to do when you are here in Nürnberg is to eat a proper German meal. And of course, we took the schnitzel. And oh, this is a good place. It's the place right behind me. I will put it in the description if I can find it afterwards. I have bookmarked it, so hopefully I can. Otherwise, well, you have to go down here and walk yourself and find this place right behind me. But it was a great schnitzel and it tasted perfectly, and you could taste the butter. Yeah, it was made with butter and those good potatoes. So all in all, a great meal, and now it's time to explore the city some more before the true exploration starts tomorrow when we have a full day here in Nürnberg. So one of my top recommendations when you hit a new town is just walk, go out there, walk, explore the town. It doesn't matter where you are, if you're in Berlin, if you're in Nürnberg, if you're in Copenhagen, if you're in London. The center of town says a lot about its history, and just walk there, take in the atmosphere and explore, look at your surroundings. You don't have to pay all those admissions fees the first day. The second and the third day, all right, we can begin to look at museums and all these kind of things. But if you arrive late in the afternoon, why not just take a walk out into the city and explore it? One of the things you get out of just exploring is to walk, well, up and find a beautiful old castle. But I have one recommendation. After schnitzel, don't take this walk. Do it before schnitzels. It might be hard on all those schnitzels to walk up here, but it is certainly worth the view. And if you are in Nürnberg, you should definitely walk to the castle. And as a first day activity, it's a great view. It's a great place. But let's see what else we can find, because there's much more to Nürnberg. So let's head out there and find some more. Another one of those walking around things is that you find a vending machine market. Vending machine upon vending machine upon vending machine, filled with all you need. Open 24/7 here in Nürnberg, and this is not sponsored. It is just because I walked around and found this wonderful, delightful place. They have all sorts of snacks. They even have vapes in a vending machine. So if you're into vaping and need a vape, well, open 24/7 in the heart of Nürnberg. And by the way, a lack of beer is no excuse in Nürnberg. Just adding a little side note here. My card doesn't support age verification, so I cannot buy, well, alcohol in here. I can buy everything else, but alcohol, no. First full day here in Nürnberg, and we are headed out to see the documentation center. It should be worth a visit. It is not, well, it's not something way, it's more, well, getting educated and see the flaws of our past. But first breakfast, and then it's out into the town, and yeah, explore the entire city. And here comes a quick saving tip. If you're on vacation and you have the possibility for it, most of the time it will be cheaper to make your own breakfast. On most hotels on the trip, they are asking for 10 euros per breakfast per person. That's quite expensive. We've just purchased our breakfast for 3 people for 14 euros, and there's 2 days in that. And if we compare it to hotel prices, there are some savings to be had. But let's head out and explore the city. Breakfast first. And coffee. The documentation center for the Nazi Party history. Should you go and visit it while you're here in Nürnberg? Let's head in and find out. So unfortunately, the permanent exhibition is temporarily closed because of renovations. That's why I will not give you a full review, but I will say this. The exhibition they have put up for the time being is great at telling the story about how the Nazi Party came to power and, well, how they arose to the level of, well, what do you call it? Power over the German people they had. It was German people that had power. Yeah, I'll not go too much into that. And it is a fascinating big building. It can something in grandeur, and it should have been much larger. But there's in the exhibition a great explanation on that. But basically, this is a site worth seeing, even though it's not the permanent exhibition that's open. So if you're ever in Nürnberg, go by and hope the permanent exhibition is open, where you can see the entire site from above, and hit that like button so I will get a bigger chance of getting down here and review the entire permanent exhibition. But I need your help. The more people who like this video, the easier I will have in, well, getting a sponsor to pay for the trip. So, having a teenager along, we cannot just go in and see all the boring World War II museums, because then he would be bored out of his mind. That's why we tried the Deutsches Museum in Nürnberg, which is right here behind me, and I'd say it is perfectly worth a visit, especially if you have teenagers along. It is, how will the future impact us? It is great for, well, kids of all sizes, and I will say just be mindful that here in the summer vacation there's a lot of kids on trips here, so they can be a bit loud in there and a bit crowded. But if you just take your time, we used a couple of hours in there, and well, for a teenager it's great, instead of just having to look at all these war memorials, because it also gets a little tiresome. So to break it up, the Deutsches Museum. And if you want my full review, then check out the description. When in Nürnberg, you should absolutely take your time and go explore the city. Just take in the beautiful buildings, because this is a German city with a lot of old, beautiful buildings and a lot of atmosphere in the streets. Hopefully some of it comes across in the pictures I've taken, but there are a lot of atmosphere, and it is certainly worth just walking around. Take your time and enjoy it. So when on the road you need to wash your clothes, and well, we have to use the laundromat, because otherwise we have to go home early, and we have to go home tomorrow if we don't get clean clothes. But well, we are going to München tomorrow, so we better wash our clothes here at the laundromat. And while we do that, let's check out my trip to München right over here. And if it's not online by now, Google will show you something interesting over here. But if it is, then it's my trip to München while I wash my clothes here in Nürnberg.